Katsina communities resume farming after years of banditry, seek government support. NDLEA seizes millions of tramadol pills, tons of cannabis in nationwide crackdown. Senate vows to deploy technology in fight against insecurity. And away from Nigeria, DR Congo's M23 rebels capture Luvungi as fighting escalates. Hello and welcome to News Hour and Trust TV. I am Mariam Idris. Now, residents of communities around the popular Zobe Dam in Duzuma local government area of Katsina State have returned to their farmlands after abandoning them for decades due to persistent bandit attacks. Communities such as Takatsaba, Ruwangamji, Gago, Maikera, Tarare, and Dagelawal have now resumed partial irrigation farming and fishing following a peace deal reached with the armed groups that once terrorized the area. This return is happening despite the absence of access routes and lack of agricultural incentives, leaving many of the residents exhausted after years of bandit violence that destroyed their livelihoods. Katsina Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi visited the communities in southern Duzama and now reports.
Many residents are yet to fully recover from the trauma of repeated bandit attacks. Every movement is taken with caution as they continue to watch their surroundings closely to avoid being caught off guard. The memories of killings, abductions, and assaults are still fresh. But residents say healing and recovery are gradual and can only happen when there is sustained calm in their communities. Beyond security, the residents insist they deserve better social amenities, including motorable roads and agricultural support such as fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, water pumping machines, and fishing equipment. Despite their strategic location and large irrigation clusters, most farmers still rely on outdated farming and fishing methods, making their work difficult and less productive. The people lament years of neglect by both local and state authorities, despite their contribution to food production in the state. This is one of the major irrigation sites in Katsina State. I keep hearing about government support for irrigation farming, but sadly, I have never benefited from anything. Many times, we run at a loss due to the high cost of inputs and petrol for generators. We have appealed to the government repeatedly, but nothing has changed. For me, if the government is serious about security, empowering farmers like us is key. But most of us here have never received any intervention. Our road is bad, no school, no hospital, nothing. As you can see, we still use very old fishing tools. In this part of the country, fishing is not even seen as a proper occupation. I am calling on the government to include us in its interventions. An elderly group of women displaced from Shimfida, one of the first communities destroyed by bandits in GBLGA, now live and work here as laborers, struggling to survive. They recalled some of the most brutal attacks on Shimfida, which led to the loss of lives, homes, and livelihoods.
I was displaced from Shimfida. I trekked hundreds of miles to get here out of frustration. My family was doing well before banditry, but now I work on people's farms just to feed myself. I don't know where my family members are. I am speechless. Only God knows.
The villagers are appealing to Governor Dikko Umar Radda to include them in the distribution of subsidized farm inputs to expand their irrigation efforts and rebuild their once vibrant communities, now destroyed by years of terrorism. Security experts say rebuilding communities and empowering locals is critical to achieving lasting peace, especially in areas devastated by long-term insecurity, which has left many vulnerable to poverty, hunger, and disease. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, says he has hosted a United States congressional delegation in Abuja as part of ongoing high-level security consultations between both countries. In a statement posted on his X handle on Sunday, Ribadu explained that the visit follows earlier meetings held in Washington, D.C., where both sides discussed shared security interests. He added that the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, also attended the meeting, a development he described as proof of the importance both nations place on the partnership. According to Ribadu, discussions at the meeting focused on the counter-terrorism cooperation, regional stability, and fresh strategies to strengthen the strategic security alliance between Nigeria and the United States. Now, authorities in Sabon local government area of Sokoto State have dismissed reports circulating on social media that armed men attack a mosque in the area, killing an imam and several worshippers. The chairman of the council, Ayuba Hashimu, described the report as entirely false. A member of the Sokoto State House of Assembly representing the area, Aminu Boza, also refuted the claims. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, has urged wealthy Nigerians to invest more of their resources in advancing education as a way of bridging the country's knowledge gap. He made the call during the sword-turning ceremony of Ojaja University in Ile-Ife, an institution owned and promoted by the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Eniton Ogunwusi, Ojaja II. Hamid Oyebade reports.
The Oni of Ife, who serves as the Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, established the Ojaja University as part of his contributions towards improving educational development in Nigeria. During the ceremony, which formed part of events marking the Oni's 10th coronation anniversary, the Sultan emphasized the importance of collective support from privileged Nigerians in strengthening the country's education system.
As it pleases our Creator Almighty, we are here also to now turn the sword for this university, and inshallah, with our prayers, with our support, physical, moral, financial, this place will succeed much, much better than it did as it is now, and also as the Ojaja University in Ilori.
6 years ago, rather for the university to completely collapse, I offered to take it upon myself exactly 5 years ago. Lo and behold, we started pushing. It's a very challenging investment. Anybody that sets up university, don't think you are going to make money from it. It's a lie. Rather, just turn it to be a legacy project.
This campus is envisioned as Africa's most vibrant hub for arts, culture, languages, media, and creative technologies, where culture meets innovation, heritage meets technology, creativity meets global relevance. Kabiyesi, through this campus, you have planted an intellectual seed that will grow into the global forest of ideas, talent, and creative excellence. This is how civilizations are built, not by monuments alone, but by minds nurtured and liberated.
Prominent Nigerians gathered in Ile-Ife to witness the foundation of the new citadel of learning envisioned to shape Africa's intellectual, cultural, and technological future. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has seized over 7.6 million tramadol pills and 76,000 kilograms of cannabis in coordinated raids across Nigeria. Targeting major drug trafficking networks, seizures included 3.8 million tramadol tablets and codeine syrup in Delta State, 1.2 million tramadol pills in Imo, 1.5 million capsules in Adamawa, and 197,000 Exol 5 pills in Kano. Drug farms and warehouses were also raided. Over 54,000 kilograms of skunk in Ekiti, 5,400 kilograms in Ondo, 500 kilograms in Niger, and hundreds of kilograms in Lagos and Edo states. Multiple suspects were arrested. Commending the operatives, the chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, Muhammad Buba Marwa, praised officers of the Special Operations Unit and commands in Delta, Adamawa, Imo, Ondo, Lagos, Kano, FCT, Niger, and Edo states for their efforts, describing the operation as a balanced approach to drug supply and demand reduction. And now the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has introduced a mandatory continuing professional development MCPD program requiring all legal practitioners to complete a minimum of 5 continuing professional development CPD hours each year. The initiative is designed to strengthen professional competence, enhance ethical practice, and ensure lawyers remain informed about evolving legal trends and reforms. The report.
The mandatory continuing professional development program framework is flexible, allowing lawyers to earn CPD credits through a variety of approved activities, including webinars and workshops, legal training programs, presentation or publication of scholarly articles, attendance at the conferences, teaching or lecturing engagements. According to the chairman of the NBA Kebbi branch, Barrister Aminu Hassan, lawyers who fail to meet the annual CPD requirements risk losing their practicing license.
You see, the MCPD is compulsory on all lawyers, irrespective of their location or practice. It is meant to support lawyers and to ensure and restore confidence of the public on lawyers. And therefore, each lawyer must have at least 5 points, the minimum of 5 points yearly, failure to have which will make sure that a lawyer will cease his license to practice as a lawyer. And that is why it is mandatory on all lawyers to ensure that they key in, to ensure they have that requirement. And at the end of the year, the MBA is most likely going to give out the list of those that are compliant with the principle and policy.
To cushion the financial burden on members, the NBA has also introduced a hardship waiver policy, which provides discounted or fully waived training fees, as well as free participation slots for lawyers facing economic difficulties. The chairman of Continuing Legal Education, NBA Kebbi branch, Barrister Hosseini Zakaria San, reaffirmed the association commitment to fostering excellence, professionalism, and integrity within the legal community.
Continuing legal education, it does a whole lot of things in updating the knowledge of the lawyers, and it's an opportunity for the public to also know what the MBA is doing and what the public is expected of lawyers, so that when the public knows about what is expected of every lawyer, if a lawyer is failing in his responsibility, the public will easily take him up. So the public will help the MBA in reshaping the conduct of our lawyers, particularly the young lawyers that are coming up nowadays.
It is very important for lawyers to be trained and trained so that they can represent their client in a very good way. and especially when we are having so many laws that we're having issues that are not being attended before. So if they are not training and retraining, reading and reading, there are some laws will be forgotten, and it will make some judgments to take time in courts.
Comrade Usman Anachi, chairman of Advocacy for Peace and Good Governance, called on lawyers to uphold the honor of the profession and ensure timely, fair, and reliable delivery of justice, particularly in underserved rural communities. From Birin Kebbi, Hawa Hassan, Trust TV.
Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Taga, says the country's foreign policy is now firmly focused on economic growth, job creation, and strategic partnerships that advance national development. Taga made the remark on Sunday through his special assistant on media and communications strategy, Al-Qasim Abdul Qadir. He was speaking during a high-level panel titled BRICS, GCC and Evolving Relations for a Changing Global Order at the Doha Forum 2025. According to him, Nigeria's foreign policy direction under President Bola Tinubu is shaped by the nation's population strength over 230 million people, mostly youth, and the urgent need to create more employment opportunities, expand the middle class, and attract long-term investment. He emphasized that Nigerians' engagement with global platforms such as BRICS and the G20 is guided purely by national interest rather than ideological alignment with any international bloc. Taga also warned against allowing external geopolitical rivalries to spill into Africa, noting that such tensions could destabilize the region and hinder development. He stressed the importance of safeguarding peace, stability, and cooperation across the continent. Now, maritime workers under the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria on Sunday staged a protest at the bank of River Buruku in Buruku local government area of Benue State over the alleged theft of 2 boat engines belonging to their members. The protest, which started early in the morning, brought social and commercial activities around the busy Buruku River bank and much of the town to a standstill. During the demonstration, the workers blocked all crossing points along the river, effectively grounding canoe and ferry operations and leaving communities stranded. The aggrieved operators said this is not the first time such incidents have occurred at the River Buruku Bank. They are calling on Governor Hyacinth Alia to intervene urgently, recover the stolen engines, and restore security at the river bank. They vowed that no crossing activities will resume until their engines are found. Tensions has continued to rise as residents and travelers remain stranded. Efforts to reach the spokesperson of the Benue State Police Command, DSP Udeme Det, were unsuccessful at the time of filing this report. With just days to Christmas, Christians in Yenagua, the Bayelsa state capital, say they are deeply worried about the hardship caused by the country's harsh economic situation. Now, according to them, the cost of living crisis appears to worsen by the day. Although the prices of some commodities have slightly reduced, residents says the drop is still not significant enough to ease the pressure on households. They are therefore calling on the federal government to urgently regulate the prices of essential commodities and premium motor spirit, commonly known as petrol. The clergymen also appeal to the government to address the growing insecurity across the country as the festive season approaches. Trust TV's Friday Epimopowe Peter reports.
Pastor Moses Etume and Sister Usana expressed concern that many Christians may struggle to celebrate Christmas this year if the rising prices of goods and services are not checked and properly regulated.
For us to enjoy Christmas, we need foodstuff. And for now, the economy is hard on Nigerians. So I'm calling on the federal government to look into the market. They have the power to control the price. And so I'm calling on the government to look into the market sector and see what they can do to reduce the price of things so that Christians can enjoy the Christmas season. Because everyone, they are finding it hard and difficult to eat 3 square meals a day because of the harsh economy. But I believe that with government effort, this will be easy this year.
Government will make una reduce the price of things. We know say that they work am before they won't sell them, but at least make una reduce am so that make people buy things when it did their mind. Like the transportation is much. We where we say we dey travel, we where we stranger, we are not indigenous. We dey travel, and the price of transportation what we dey use dey travel before now it don high pass. So we just dey pray make government, make God touch government, make dem reduce the fuel price.
Also speaking, Pastor Isbekin Jollyman stressed the urgent need for the federal government to strengthen security measures across the country, warning that heightened insecurity could affect Christmas activities nationwide.
They call this insecurity because this insecurity is affecting the movement of people, not the price per se. We are, as Christians, as believers, we are praying for the divine intervention, for God to release peace upon Nigeria, but the federal government to have a part to play. They should try. They should make sure Christians and everybody all over Nigeria should have a peaceful celebration this season.
Many Christians across Nigeria remained worried and alarmed by the rising cases of insecurity affecting several parts of the country. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
Now, military sources close to Benin President Patrice Talon have confirmed that at least 13 individuals, including 12 soldiers who stormed the national television station Benin TV, have been arrested following the failed coup attempt. Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri, identified as the mastermind of the plot, remains at large and is actively being pursued by security forces. Tigri, described as the key strongman behind the operation, is an artillery officer in the National Guard. Security around key state institutions has intensified. Access roads leading to the presidential palace have been sealed off with barricades, while police officers redirect traffic away from the area. Tanks were also seen racing towards Boulevard de la Marina, heightening tension in the capital. According to multiple security sources, the mutineers initially attempted to attack President Talon's residence but were repelled by the Republican Guard. They then moved toward the presidential palace before taking over the state radio and television station, where they succeeded in recording and broadcasting their message. Authorities say the situation remains under control as the search for Tigri continues. Still on Benin Republic coup, Colonel Pascal Tigri, leader of the attempted military coup in Benin, has resurfaced in a new video calling on citizens to support his movement while issuing a warning to France against intervening. Observers note that his voice and tone in the latest recording appear different from his earlier announcement at the TV station. Despite the uncertainty, reports indicate that loyalist forces have regained control of major state institutions, with several members of the coup group already arrested. The government has reassured the public that the situation is under control and urged citizens to continue their normal activities. The international community, including ECOWAS and the African Union, has strongly condemned the attempted coup and demanded an immediate return to constitutional order. President Patrice Talon's government has confirmed that He is safe, although his exact location remains undisclosed amid ongoing security concerns. Now, Nigeria has deployed fighter aircraft to the Benin Republic following reports of military coup that allegedly toppled President Patrice's talon on Sunday, according to security sources. The jets, which reportedly took off from Lagos, were sighted operating within Benin Republic's airspace as Nigeria intensified aerial surveillance to monitor the fast evolving political and security situation in the neighboring country. A senior security official said the deployment is a precautionary measure aimed at assessing potential regional threats and safeguarding Nigeria's national interest. Reports indicate that the takeover in Benin Republic is being led by Lieutenant Pascal Tigri, who is said to have announced the dissolution of state institutions and assumed full military control. The group behind the alleged coup, calling itself the Military Committee for Rebuilding, reportedly suspended the November 2025 constitution, dissolved all state institutions, halted political party activities, and ordered the closure of land, sea, and air borders. Nigeria shares a long and porous border with Benin Republic, making any instability in the country a direct security concern for Abuja. Military sources say the aerial surveillance will continue until the situation becomes clearer. Now, the African Union, AU, and ECOWAS have strongly condemned the attempted military coup in Benin Republic on Sunday, December 7, 2025, calling for the immediate restoration of constitutional governance. A group of soldiers led by Lieutenant Colonel Pascal Tigri attacked President Patrice Talon's residence and seized the national television station, claiming to dissolve all state institutions. In response, AU chairperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf condemned the coup as a breach of continental laws, urging the military to return to barracks and respect democratic institutions. ECOWAS described the move as a supervision of the will of the people, warned the plot leaders of accountability, and pledged support to restore constitutional order, including potential deployment of a standby force. Both regional bodies reaffirmed the backing for President Talon and expressed concern over rising coup attempts in Africa, warning that such actions undermine stability and democracy. This is the news update, News Hour on Trust TV, coming up after the break. NDLEA seizes millions of tramadol pills, tons of cannabis in nationwide crackdown. More news when we return. To stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Now let's take a recap of our major stories again. Katsina communities resume farming after years of banditry, seek government support. Senate vows to deploy technology in fight against insecurity. Now moving on to more stories. The Senate has assured Nigerians that it is working closely with key government agencies and stakeholders to strengthen the use of technology in addressing the country's growing security challenges. Chairman of the Senate Committee on ICT and Cybersecurity, Senator Shuaibu Afolabi Salisu, stated this while speaking with journalists after the induction of new members, vice patrons, and the inauguration of the new executive of the Abeokuta Sports Club 1904, led by President Tawhid Awodele. Salisu said the Senate is currently reviewing the National Cybercrime Act as part of broader efforts to curb rising insecurity and technology-driven crimes nationwide. The Ogun Central lawmaker noted that the Senate recently held a security engagement session in the Southwest and plans to extend similar consultations to all geopolitical zones. He also urged the Abeokuta Sport Club and other civic groups to play an active role in leadership development by offering guidance and promoting civic responsibilities. French President Emmanuel Macron has reaffirmed France's solidarity with Nigeria as the country battles rising insecurity and the persistent threat of terrorism, particularly in its northern regions. Macron said he spoke directly with President Bola Tinubu and promised to deepen cooperation between French and Nigerian authorities. He also pledged support for communities affected by violence, stressing that global partners must act collectively to address the growing threat. The statement comes amid escalating insecurity in Nigeria, including mass abductions, violent attacks, and killings in several states. Recent incidents include the kidnapping of over 300 students from the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, and St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri, Niger State. While some students have been released or escaped, many remain in the hands of their captors. In response to the security challenges, President Tinubu declared a nationwide security emergency on November 26th and directed additional recruitment into the Nigerian armed forces and the police force to bolster efforts against terrorist groups and criminal networks. Macron emphasized that no nation can remain a bystander in the fight against terrorism and highlighted the need for coordinated international efforts to support Nigeria in restoring peace and security to affected communities. As the political fight between former governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawalle, and his successor, Dauda Lawal, rages over political influence, a group has alleged been bankrolled to the tune of over 500 million naira to run smear campaign against the now Minister of State for Defense. They accused political allies and spokesperson of the current Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, of engaging them to misinform the public about the embattled defense minister, but driven by their conscience, apologized for their involvement in the deal. They made the confessions at a news conference where they alleged to have been involved in a series of sponsored smear campaigns against the former Zamfara State Governor. Moving on, in a renewed drive to attract private sector participation, the Jigawa state government has convened its 2025 annual investors lunch, a high-level engagement aimed at reinforcing investor trust, expanding partnerships, and unlocking new economic opportunities for the state. The gathering attracted major stakeholders from within and outside Nigeria, all eager to explore Jigawa's expanding economic space and growing relevance in the country's investment landscape. The report.
The 2025 Investors Launch held in Dutse provided a high-impact platform for constructive engagement between the Jigawa state government and both existing and prospective investors. This year's discussion focused on strengthening relationships, offering policy clarity, and outlining practical strategies to improve ease of doing business in the state. The forum also allowed investors to present their concerns and interact directly with government officials on operational challenges and expectations. Governor Umar Namadi, while addressing participants, highlighted Jigawa's competitive strength, including abundant fertile agricultural land, a skilled and expanding workforce, reliable power supply, and the state's strong performance in national business-friendly rankings.
It is on record that Jigawa State is the second in ease of doing business in Nigeria. Therefore, it is one of the best investment destinations in this country. What we have in Jigawa State, we are blessed with so many things. We are blessed with arrival land for farming, for agriculture, for industries. Jigawa State is blessed with a lot of mineral resources. And in terms of population, we are also at the average level. We have about 7.5 million people as a population. And for any investor, there are clear criteria you are looking for. First of all, you are looking for enabling environment. Secondly, you are looking for resources, either in terms of land, in terms of labor, in terms of any other thing.
He also emphasized the state's key economic infrastructure, such as Gagarawa Industrial Park, the Megatari Free Trade Zone, and several emerging industrial centers that boost Jigawa attractiveness for agro-industry, manufacturing, and commercial ventures.
We have a range of incentives, including tax breaks and investment guarantee. Our state is committed to private sector, land growth with a focus on job creation and economic diversification.
The government of Jigawa State recognizes the importance of the private investment. The private investment plays in expanding our economic base. With His Excellency Governor Malam Umar Namadi FCA's support, the administration has prioritized reforms that improve the ease of doing business, strengthen value chains, and open new opportunities for both indigenous and international investors. As an agency, Invest Jigawa is committed to ensuring that your journey from entry to expansion is seamless, supportive, and predictable.
The governor reaffirmed commitment of the Jigawa Investment Promotion Agency to function as one-stop gateway for investors, ensuring seamless coordination, simplified process, and unhindered access to statewide ranging investment opportunities. According to the government, Jigawa continues to record steady progress across sectors including agriculture, commerce, infrastructure, and other growth-driven areas supporting long-term economic development.
Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has reaffirmed his commitment to supporting security agencies in restoring peace across conflict-affected communities in the state. He also pledged to rebuild destroyed infrastructure to consolidate the gains of democracy. The governor made this known during a security tour and condolence visit across Goza, Chibok, Damboa, and Askira Uba local government areas in southern Borno. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurusi report.
The three-day tour across southern Borno began in Warabe, Goza local government area, where Governor Zulum condoled with families who recently lost loved ones in Boko Haram attacks. Similar condolence visits were paid in Chibok and at the palaces of Askira Uba, where the governor reiterated his commitment to strengthening security, establishing more schools, roads, and other critical infrastructure. He also provided financial assistance to the bereaved families. The governor later visited Lassa community, where he approved the recruitment of 11 teachers for the Federal Science and Technical College to address manpower shortages and other pressing needs. Governor Zulum then addressed frontline troops of 25 Task Force Brigade in Damboa local government area and sympathized with colleagues of fallen heroes, including Brigadier General Musa Uba, who remains missing in action.
You have been doing very well. We have acknowledged your own support, and we want to also commend you. Since the incident that has happened in Damboa about a month ago, both the federal government of Nigeria and indeed the Borno state government are working in partnership with a view to providing the necessary requirements.
We have also looked into the possibility of strengthening the resilience of the people, as well as supporting the Nigerian armed forces. Inshallah, with the interface that we had with the military and with our gallant volunteer forces, civilian JTF, hunters, vigilante, and foresters, I believe there is a determination, inshallah, to end this crisis.
During the tour, the governor inspected ongoing hospital and school projects in Chibok, Lassa, Oba Central, and Uvu. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Now, police in Imo State have uncovered an alleged organ harvesting operation after finding over 100 dead bodies at an illegal mortuary. The mortuary owner is currently at large. The discovery highlights ongoing insecurity in Imo, which has seen kidnappings, armed robberies, and court-related activities. Between January and June 2025, the state police arrested over 2,700 suspects and rescued more than 100 victims. Authorities are urging residents to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity.
Good afternoon, members of the press. We received an intelligence report that unregistered mortuary is being discovered in this vicinity. His Excellency delegated the Commissioner for Health, the local government chairperson of Fungo Pala. Myself, I came to represent the Inspector General of Police. We visited this place. We saw scattered corpses, mutilated corpses in this environment. What we have seen, the corpses that we discovered are more than hundreds. And the owner of the mortuary is on the run. We sent for him, he refused to come. And severally, we mounted surveillance, whether we'll be able to get him, he's on the run. And by the information we gathered, they used this place in dumping the corpses of what they call organs harvest. Organs harvest. And we are appealing on members of the public, whoever that have corpses here, to come forward.
In business, the federal government received 360.29 billion naira from electronic money transfer levies between January and October 2025, according to a new document from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The figure is more than double the 170.92 billion naira generated within the same period in 2024, an increase of 189.36 billion naira, representing 110.8% growth. Monthly data also showed consistent increases across all months of 2025. The surge follows the December 2024 upward review of charges by point-of-sale operators in line with the implementation of 50 naira electronic money transfer levy on all electronic inflows of 10,000 naira and above. Several fintech companies had earlier notified customers that the levy mandated under the federal government Stamp Duty Act will be automatically collected and remitted by the FIRS. And on the foreign scene, M23 rebels, reportedly backed by Rwanda, have captured the strategic town of Luvungi in South Kivu, forcing thousands of residents to flee. The Congolese army says it withdrew to protect civilians, adding that shells fired from inside Rwanda hit communities in the Ruzizi Plain, killing civilians and destroying public facilities. Sources report that the rebels are now advancing towards Uvira. The escalation comes days after DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and Rwanda's Paul Kagame met with U.S. President Donald Trump to reaffirm a June peace deal. Tensions were visible at the meeting as both leaders avoided contact. UN experts say 3,000 to 4,000 Rwanda troops are operating in eastern DRC alongside M23, a claim Rwanda denies. And in sport, for decades, remarkable football talent whose journeys began in neighborhood teams in Kano State found their way onto global stages. The story for others is one of being at the center of missed opportunities and a football system struggling to match the passion of many. Abdulaziz Ibrahim talked to stakeholders on challenges bedeviling football academies and now reports.
Sports experts say Kano has everything needed for a thriving football industry, including a massive population with many passionate about the game. Young left-back Hamza Badamasi was discovered on the streets of Kano. His rapid rise is one of the many stories that show that talent has no limits. European giants Bayern Munich are already monitoring his progress.
I
never imagined that while playing for this team, I would be able to go to Germany, where I featured in 6 games at the Bayern Munich Youth Cup. Few are like Badamasi, as Kano still struggles to build a strong football economy. At the heart of Kano's struggle is infrastructure. Experts say it remains the biggest gap and the base of any profitable sports system.
The problem of infrastructure is number one. You are talking about Kano that has 44 local governments. And even the 16 metropolis, which is the heart of Kano, the only stadium you have is Sani Abacha Stadium. And look at the state of Sani Abacha Stadium. It cannot even, under normal circumstances, it cannot host a Nigerian professional football league game if you want to go by standard.
Culture also plays a role. Veteran broadcaster Lurwanu Malikawa explains how, in the past, many young people with football talent missed opportunities for development and exposure.
The last 30, 40 years, most of the parents do not believe that football is a business because of the tradition and culture. When you are doing football, they are expecting it is contrary to our norms and culture. With the coming of the new development in football, people now understand that football is a business venture. Because if you can agree with me, if you go to some certain places, you can see how can a parent carry his small children, go to the football pitches, hand it over them to the coaches. Please take care of my children. I want them to become Ahmed Musa. I want them to become Messi. I want them to become Ronaldo.
Beyond infrastructure and culture, policy and governance remain major concerns. Dr. Suleiman Musa, who runs a football academy in Kano, says reforms are essential.
Football activities is a private business. Like people going to China to buy clothes, they are doing their own business. It's the same thing with me. I'm doing football business. I should not expect government to be giving me money while I'm doing my private business. But there is something peculiar to football that is capital intensive. An individual cannot dare try to own its own. Can I own a stadium? This is what we are requesting from them. Let them make training pitch so available in Kano. We have clubs in Kano. Training pitch become a major concern.
Grassroots football clubs face their own challenges. The number of clubs able to register for the nationwide league is reducing year by year as clubs struggle with funding, facilities and player development.
The challenges are basically 3. 1, identifying the talent. 2, getting the right coaches to develop these players. And then 3, the obvious one, that's the financial aspect of it.
If Kano State government have understood that football is an economy, Kano wouldn't be where we are today with the highest number of clubs, which means there's a problem. So until the government understands holistically that it is an economy and it needs to be developed, and then get the right people to come and look at the framework and develop a framework that can really help, then we'll begin to say, let us put round pegs in round holes.
We also spoke virtually with football coach and longtime talent scout Henderson Peter, who reveals how failure to do things by the book within football clubs prevents player transfers, and that must be addressed.
You see all these either about to be sold or sold. You see all these clubs he has played, they will start coming. He's my player, he's my player, he's my player. I had an experience of it. And it will be trouble here and there that can affect the player, affect his career, affect him every day. You understand? So the record should start, Kano club should start keeping a record of players, and they move from one club to club.
Kano's football story is not just about the legends it has produced, but the thriving football economy it can build when passion finally meets opportunity. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
Still on sport, a popular football academy known as Golden Soccer Academy, located in Bukuru in Jos South local government area of Plateau State, is helping young players pursue their dreams of becoming professional footballers. The academy, which has been training young talents for more than 3 decades, has successfully produced players for various clubs within and outside Nigeria. Ado Musa visited the academy and now reports.
Golden Soccer Academy was established in 1987 and has produced over 200 players who have featured in local and international leagues. According to the management, more than 40 of its players have gone on to play for European clubs. They explained that enrollment into the academy is based strictly on talent, regardless of players' background.
There's no much requirement here. The only thing I want to discover you in your local clubs, you have talent. We might invite you when you come, then we'll give you a chance to play. We'll see what you have and we'll see how we produce what you have. There is no segregation, like I said, Muslim or Christian or Hindu, nothing like this here. And you don't pay. There is no fees. You don't pay money. We don't ask you to bring anything. We don't ask you to pay anything. You just come with your talent. Then we'll now encourage you. Then we'll now announce you to the world. That's just it. Like the like of Good right from the scratch. Good, he played in Colombia. He plays in Sharks from Sharks. He moved to Colombia. That was the first victory that we have in this academy. Then secondly, from Ahmed Musa playing in CSK Moscow. From there he moved to England. From England he moved to so many countries. We have the like of Simon Moses, play from Ghent he moved to England now.
Management also said the academy focuses not only on developing football skills but also on grooming the players to become responsible ambassadors in the future.
I could remember when I came to GBS, I was a very stubborn person as a young boy. So when I came in, so apart from the football career that I choose to live, he also tried to guide us in a moral decency, how you behave, how you talk to people, how you relate with people. And I could remember one of my friends then, he do smoke. When he came here, he stopped smoking. And now, as I'm telling you, he's doing well.
Some of the young players share their experiences training with the academy.
I joined this academy this year, and all I can say is there's been a big improvement and a big achievement for me, honestly, because I've gotten a lot of training, better equipment, good hospitality, and basically this is the team to join.
I joined this club more than 13 years. I'm an old player here, and what I have to say about this club is like this club being a family to me since I was a kid, and it guides me to achieve many things. Because from this club I came here, they pick me, they send me many places, and I play many leagues. I get more experiences, and still we have a lot to achieve.
I joined this club in 2023 to be precise, and I've been here for some time now. I must tell you that this is a God-ordained academy. As you can see for yourself, it's visible and it's audible to everybody that this is a club with a good track record. It's a domestic club with an international standard. We have good coaches who pushes us to do our best, give our best at every moment.
Former players who passed through the academy also spoke about the journey and how the academy shaped their careers.
I can remember when I come this academy, I'm a young. By the special grace of God, today I'm a coach here. I play for Nigeria NLL. I play for Nasarawa, and next I come play for Adama United Football.
This very academy has produced a lot of players, including myself that I'm speaking here. From GBS I went to Mighty Jets of Jos. From Mighty Jet I played for Wiki Tories. I played for MPA, Nasarawa United, so many clubs which I cannot mention all. And I'm a product of this place, and this place has produced a lot of players, great players who have ascertained their career even in Europe.
With its long-standing record of excellence and commitment to nurturing young footballers, Golden Soccer Academy continues to serve as a crucial platform for discovering, training and projecting future stars. For many aspiring players in Jos and beyond, the academy remains a symbol of hope and a pathway to professional fulfillment. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
With that, we have come to the end of the news hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news. I am Maria Idris. Thank you for watching.